What do you say, my Facebook friends? Number 8 in your scorecard, number 1 in your heart, Albert Sugar Bear Barberry. Well, you know, I had an experience today on Sports Talk Radio 97.5, the station they call the FANATIC. And I'm going to break it down and I'm going to expose, and I feel bad I got to do this, and you'll understand why I'm going to say this. I started calling 97.5 because the other fucking jerk-off station, WIP 94.1, fucking blackballed me. I called one time, they were on to my voice. They're upset with me. I believe they're upset with me, where word came down from Angelo, Cataldi. Don't take my call, because I did a story about him exposing not such a nice side of him. And don't get me wrong, I liked Angelo. I was in studio with him a few times. I was on the air with him more than a few times. I like Angelo, but, you know, he's going to have a chapter in my book. So I just told the story on Facebook. And that's what I think happened. I called in, disguised my voice. I called Joe the camera and Richie, and they were on to me. They got my number, and they thought they were slick. I called in a couple of times. I knew they were keeping me hold. I know they were on to me. So I started figuring, let me call Anthony Gargano. Anthony's nice. Nice guy. I met him years ago. We were always cool. And so, unfortunately, Anthony is no longer with 97.5. And his co-host, Andrew Salciunas, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, took over the show. Now, I want to set the record straight. When I used to listen to Anthony, it was his show. And more I listened a little bit. I only listen when I'm in my car. And I would say Anthony has nothing over his partner. This kid's pretty up, educated on Philadelphia sports, talks well. And so I started calling Andrew. And today I made a phone call, and it's known on my social media and on the radio that I'm not a Rob Thompson fan. Okay, I don't hate him. I hate when he would say Sugar Bear hates Rob Thompson. I don't hate Rob Thompson. How can I hate Rob Thompson? I hate how he manages. I don't hate Rob Thompson. I envy Rob Thompson. I want to be in that dugout. Okay? I want to manage a Major League Ball club. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to, as you see, I posted to one of my phone call and his reply after I hung up. And I'm telling you right now, that will be the last call I make the 97.5 Andrew show. Maybe I call the morning show, Kincaid show. They're pretty good. I listen to them when I go do my swim in the morning. But here's the deal. And people say to me, Sugar, why don't you get on a radio? Why don't you get on a radio show? You need to get a radio show, this and that. And today is a perfect example why, A, I will never be invited in studio once a talk show host gets to know me over the phone. And I've been in studio with other talk show hosts, and I can tell you this. After my first time in there with them, as a personality, as my likeness comes out over the microphone, they are so threatened by me. They want no part of me in studio ever again. They have such big egos and scared and threatened that I would be noticed by program directors, general manager radio shows, and get a gig. Okay. So when you listen to that, you'll hear the ignorance and the disrespect Andrew gives me, and I bring up points. I'm a baseball guy, okay? And as you listen, you'll see I explain what the contact play is. Now, it's very obvious Andrew doesn't even have a clue what the contact play is and the beauty of the contact play. Because when you listen to the second one, he makes the excuse about, oh, it was hit so hard, why he froze. Listen to me. Once he says that, okay, once he says that, I know he's clueless about the game of baseball and the contact play, okay? And he knows if he kept me on air and said that while I was on air, he knows I'm going to expose him as the fraud he is, knowing the game about baseball, okay? The contact play has nothing to do how hard the ball's hit or how soft the ball hit. Your manager puts the contact play on so it gives the runner no responsibility to even try to figure out where the ball's going, how it's going. He wants them busting on contact to get home, and the play 97% of the time is bang-bang at the plate. Okay? And this particular play last night in Game 1 of the NLCS, Schwarber hit a bullet down to the first baseman, and he hit the heel of his glove, popped out. Yeah, right now it's results, but the bottom line is, on contact, he scores easy. Okay? It was obvious, Thompson, he doesn't put it on. He never puts it on. Even in Game 2 of the wild card, the Marlins series, it was 7-0. Turner's on third. Alec Bohm was up. He hits a hard ball up the middle. Infield was up. Turner don't move. It's obvious Thompson didn't put the contact play on. I have other goofball idiots telling me, well, maybe Marsh messed up and didn't do it. Oh, yeah? Well, Turner didn't do it either. He messed up? No. They're Major League Baseball players. They got the third base coach over there. They give a little whisper. We're moving. You know what I mean? And it's no big deal. Even if the third baseman heard you. The fuck? They can't do nothing. The infield's up. They're going to know you're running on contact. So this is why when I get invited in studio, they don't invite me back. I steal the show because of my knowledge, my personality, my likeness, and all that jazz. And that's a perfect example today. That is a perfect example today when you listen to it. That nobody wants to deal with me in studio or take me up and challenge me on the game of baseball. Okay? If I had a show with a co-host, okay, an educated co-host, from March to November 1st when the World Series is over, nobody will listen to another show in my time slot. Never. So take a listen to my phone call, then take a listen to his reply, and he's immature, because if he knew good radio, he wouldn't end my call the way he is. Okay? Now, I'm going to say it one more time before I hang up. Rob Thompson is a liability. He's likable. Obviously, his players are playing for him because they're executing. That's their job. But coming down to making a fucking decision, managerial. Does anybody understand what a managerial decision is? Like the one I gave him flowers when he didn't make JT at Real Muto bat in the bottom of the ninth with 2 men on, first and second, no outs. He did the right thing. He didn't make him bunt because JT doesn't know how to bunt. He don't bunt. He's never bunted in 4,000 plus at bats one time successfully. That's a managerial decision. Not putting the contact play on when you're up 4-0, regardless what the score is. But anyway, up 4-0 with, like I said, I made a point. You can have a 300-pound base runner on third base. They're bang-bang at the plate, these contact plays in the infield. And not all of them have to be fielded cleanly. And not all of them have to be throwing strikes at the plate to tag the runner out. So, Rob Thompson, I'm going to write this down. You heard it from me on this video. Either in this series or the World Series when it really counts. And if he has to face Bruce Bochy, I ain't betting a fucking quarter on the Phillies. Not one fucking quarter. I will take a knee. I am not. Okay? Because Bruce Bochy doesn't play analytics. He's already said it in his interviews that he manages by his guts and his eyes and his knowledge in baseball. And he's a former catcher. And you know how catchers are educated when it comes to managing baseballs because of their experience behind the plate. Forget about it. Okay? Rob Thompson doesn't have a fucking clue. Okay? Push buttons. What the fuck is pushing buttons? Bring your reliever in? Strikes out the side? What the fuck? He's a pitcher. So that's it. Now you get your answer. Don't ever expect me to be invited in studio because they're all scared of me. They're threatened by me. End of story. Okay? And if there's any talk show host out there that's listening to this, to have me in studio, Look me in the fucking eye. You know it's the fucking truth and you know who you are.
Let's go to my man Sugar Bear in South Philly. What's up, Sugar?
What's up, Andrew?
I'm great.
Hi.
Everything's great.
I never say hello to Ray. How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing great, Sugar Bear. It's good to hear from you.
My man Brendan Petrelli, who's working the street team down here, he's just bad.
Yeah, well, my comfort level isn't too good, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, you bad last time you called.
Hold on, buddy. You know, you and I are in agreement with maybe a lot of other people that Kyle Schwarber shouldn't be in the leadoff spot, and the game one in Atlanta proved it with Kyle getting a leadoff double and getting thrown out at third on a ground ball by Tournour. And that's when it comes, my point the whole season, when it comes to playoff games, them innings and that run is very important. And that's never going to happen if Tournour hits in front of Kyle, because Kyle is never hitting the ground ball at shortstop, and the shortstop, when the ball is hit to his little bit of the left, is going to think twice about trying to get Tournour out at third, because that better be a strike at the back.
Now, the best thing that happened for the Phillies, now obviously they didn't end up scoring that inning, but the best thing that they did after Tournour obviously was safe on first because of the play at third, they had him steal second base. And I thought that was a great move because it's like, all right, you basically that's what the result should have been.
But Andrew, that's not the point I'm making.
I know. I got you.
Okay, I know. All right, now let me get into my point of reference. Why the kink in the armor to me is always Rob Thompson, and I'm going to explain to you why. And I'm going to ask you a question first. I'm going to ask you two questions.
Okay.
Number one, you would agree watching baseball. I'm a little older than you, but you've seen 2 runs, 4 runs, 5 runs, 7-run leads being blown by either a starting pitcher or a bullpen. Have you not?
Yes, I have.
Would you say it's important to get every run, and every run is important during a game? Would you
Correct.
not?
Yes.
Nobody said a word, because there's not a lot of baseball people that call this radio show. Game 2 in the Marlins series, we're up 7-0. And Turner's on third with 1 out. And Alec Bohm hits a ball with the infield up to the left of the shortstop, and there was no contact play on. But nobody wants to say nothing because it's 7-0. The game is probably in the bag. But last night again, second and third, we have our strikeout machine up at the plate. Gotta love Kyle Schwarber, right? We love him. But we all know he's a strikeout machine. This guy executes and puts the ball in play, pulls it. The infield was up.
And Marsh doesn't run until after the ball was bobbled.
And my point is, he refuses day in, day out to put the contact play on. Now, let me tell you something. The beautiful thing about that contact play is proven last night. A lot of people say, but Sugar, the infield's up. And like when it gets hit right to the... Yeah, but a lot of things got to happen. The ball's got to be fielded cleanly, which wasn't. The infielder's got to take the ball out of his glove, and he better throw a strike. You can have Jason Kelsey on third. It's going to be bang, bang on a contact play. Now, I'm sorry, Andrew. If you know baseball, Rob Thompson continuously makes in-game managerial mistakes. You can say he's a lovable guy. You can say
the guy that's making all those mistakes is how
not
many wins away?
It's
Topper.
not that, Andrew. Don't be childish. And go
7
down.
wins, Topper. 7, Sugar. God, I can't have you. God, I can't have you calling it in. It's another day. How many times do I have to hear Sugar Bear call in miserable? With your contact plays and you got to bunt and you got to slap the ball the other way. Like, I get it, Sugar Bear. I get it. On the flip side, I can go, all right, well, you got Trey Turner up next and you're hoping that he can drive the run in. Brandon, and plus, by the way, that ball was a rocket. It may have also just been natural for him to have freezed. Like, it's one thing to say, all right, contact play. Okay. What is Brandon Marsh closing his eyes and hearing just bat on ball and sprinting? I hear you. Like, look, I played baseball, right? So I get all this kind of stuff. But, man, to come in here the next day after another win, they've lost 1 game in the playoffs. 1. And you're once again giving crap to Rob Thompson, which I just don't get. Meanwhile, Rob Thompson did another good job yesterday handling everything, going with this guy, Alvarado. Do I wish he went with somebody other than Sir Anthony? Yeah, probably. But then again, he trusts his guys. And so now it's probably not going to be Sir Anthony tonight. It'll be Kirkering or it'll be Jeff Hoffman. I just can't come. I love you, Sugar Bear. I do. And when the Phils win the World Series, you and I will meet South Broad Street, right? We'll get together. We'll pop bottles. We'll celebrate. But, man, the day after a win, you're calling in here again complaining about Rob Thompson. It drives me insane sometimes. Ray, your thoughts?
Call start out so good. Just so good. I appreciate him saying hello. He seemed like he was in a real good mood. I thought we were going to get maybe another bat.
Bad at the end of his last call. He bad. And today he's right. He left the herd. He's getting shaved in a shop somewhere. Poor little black sheep. You know, it's a shame. Little Bo Peep lost him. You know, sometimes it happens. Sometimes the herder can't keep them all together, and then he gets eaten in the byline. It's all right. Like, I feel bad, you know. 1 down, 9 to go. I got 99 other sheep. 7 more, Topper. 7 more. Let's go to Charles.